So back in 2017, we did a little segment on how we had manipulated the habitat, planted some native warm season grasses, and basically pushed these deer out of the timber, and how we could get in there and hunt it without pressuring deer, and it's been working extremely well. I just wanted to show you guys this location. This, over the years, has been one of the most productive cameras on the farm, and you wouldn't think it. It's not on a food source. It's not where you would think that deer would travel, but since we've been doing all the habitat work, it's kind of turned into one of the main travel routes on the farm. And it's main road where we drive in and out of the farm, you know, every time we come in here, but we've added all these soft edges with switchgrass around it. And it's just a great place to get pictures, especially in the summertime, because we can't use any kind of mineral or bait at any time of the year in West Central Illinois. So this camera location is spot on, and I have had some of the best pictures I've ever gotten right here. And what I've done is I've mowed all these trails through the warm season grass, and it all kind of pinches right here in this old fence row. We've taken the fence out, but it's all kind of grown up and just kind of an old farm type habitat. And I've got a tree stand right here at 30 yards. So this is actually where I thought I was gonna kill Charlie Brown last year. This is the camera where we found his main pattern, where he was heading from the food source out into this switchgrass to bed every morning. You could see the shed in the background. And I actually hung this summit stand last year to try to get in here and kill him, but couldn't get the right wind. I ended up killing him on the other side of this ditch. So pretty neat though. He ended up dying just right here within 30 yards of where we're standing. So pretty neat. 2018, got in there, killed an older age class 8-pointer, had a great hunt. And this year we had a particular deer doing the same exact thing. The only difference is I messed up. Brush. He's right over there. I'm gonna rattle at him just to see what he does. You know, I had watched this deer for close to 2 hours on and off. He was going in, going out, and it was the same exact scenario as 2018. I had a buck that he had a doe pinned down, and he was running her in and out of the brush, and I could never see the doe, but he was always looking in the same exact spot, and it was within a 10 or 15 yard area of the deer back in 2018. Where I messed up was, you know, he was in, he was out, and then it started to get darker, the light started to fade. I was close to start packing up my stuff, and all of a sudden they ran out of the brush and ran like 3 circles around the tree, and he stops at 10 yards. So I'm just getting back to the truck, and I'm gonna apologize because that footage is a little dark. It was probably the last 5 to 10 minutes of shooting light, and everybody knows that's filmed. That's kind of pushing it for camera light, and I adjusted some settings, and he was running around in circles under the tree, and he was here, there, and everywhere, and he posed at 10 yards. And the solo filming game is so tough that I was like, you know what, if I wasn't running a camera, I would shoot that deer right now. So I shot him. We'll see, we'll get back and we'll look at the footage and see what it looks like, but that's the deer that I set out to kill. I called that deer HD. Pretty neat deer. Not a giant by any means, but he's a Casey type deer. He's old enough, and they're fun to chase, and I hope I get to do this the rest of my life, because the adrenaline pump you get from that is unbelievable. But I called my dad, called my brother. They're headed out with some lights. Pretty sure I watched him go down in the switchgrass. So we'll take up the track and see what happens. Big old buck. The very first picture I got of him, he was standing right here. I got a video of him, I think it was late September, and he was snort wheezing. And the camera was on that post right there. And we've done some videos in the past. I call this the Green Gate. It's that tree stand out in the middle of nowhere, and we've kind of designed the habitat to make them walk out of the timber and walk right here by the stand. So let's go look for it. I'm not even gonna look for blood over there. My arrow's laying out here. I could see it glowing. He carried it. So.
A place I go, tucked back in the pines, where a green field grows.
Ultimately, I killed the deer, but it's not necessarily how I like to do it, as far as telling the story through the camera and getting really good footage. I apologize to everybody. It is what it is. But number one, the target deer that I was after, he did what he was supposed to do. I got in there when the wind was right, and you know, the plan that we made 5 or 6 years ago still applies today.
Your own sacred